Hello everyone, it's Edwina from My Craft Orchard. Okay, so today, starting on the craft theme that we're going to do, I'm not just doing videos about journaling, I want to do craft videos and some, how-to videos and all of those sort of things. I thought I'd show you what is in my sewing box. Now, as a crafter, you're probably the same if you are a crafter. I've got lots of stuff. I mean, tons of stuff. Fabric, wool, knitting needles galore, needles, pins, the lot. But I do tend to have a base kit, which obviously gets replenished as I use threads and that sort of thing. So I thought I'd show you what's in. Now this is it's a creative options box which has removable, these are all removable and you can move them up and down and where you need them. And I store this, and as you can see it's about the same size as a A4 piece of paper. It's not too thick. I'm just wondering what I've got to show you. Here we go. I've got a ruler. So it's about 3 inches tall, not much. Sorry, the light's showing on it. Yeah, so it's about the same size as an A4 piece of paper, and it is great because it's nice and sturdy. Plastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to empty it out and I'm going to show you what I've actually got in here. Now, what's the first thing you need for crafting? Scissors. So I've got fabric scissors and I've put a piece of washi on them to show that those are fabric scissors. The one thing you do not do, and I will shout at anybody if you do it, is cut anything but fabric with fabric scissors, and the reason is you will blunt the blade. Okay, paper blunt scissors worse than anything, because if you think about it, a piece of paper is wood, because you make paper out of wood or cotton or something, but it will blunt your blade. So I always put a piece of washi or a piece of string or wool or something to say these are my fabric scissors, which then means I have a pair of scissors to cut out patterns and those sort of things. So 2 pairs of scissors. I also have a pair of fine scissors as well with a very, very sharp point. Have I got anything? Here we go. If you look, got a very, very sharp point for detail cutting and for those sort of things. Okay, so those are those. So what have I got next? Other cutting implements would be my unpicker. A large unpicker. You can get small ones, you can get prim ones. This is just a couple of quid one. They blunt very quickly. Some people call these a seam ripper. I call them an unpicker. And believe me, when I'm doing sewing, if I haven't unpicked something, I haven't done a proper day's sewing. Oh dear, the things we do. Right, the next thing is my cow. Oh, he's so cute. Don't you think he's cute? Right, anybody who knows me will know about my cow. And all my pins and all my needles are in it, because every time I do any sewing in public or at craft club or anything like that, when we were running craft club, he would come out. So he's well versed to coming out and doing a bit of sewing. And then I have another little one here, which is actually been made out of a bottle top. So the milk bottle, the top of your milk bottle has been stuffed with wadding and then covered, but it's tiny. It's As you can see, it's not very big, so if you only want a small pincushion, that's the sort of thing you can make yourself. Okay, and then obviously when we're talking about pins and needles, what happens if you drop them all over the floor? So I have a magnet as well, and I tell you what, I have had this virtually all my life. My mum gave me this in one of my very first setups of a sewing basket, and it's something that always has to stay in my sewing basket. Are you superstitious about your stuff as well? Because I certainly am. I don't like people borrowing things, and I don't like, you know, there's certain things I have to have in my box, and this is one of them. Every box I've ever had, that's been in. I've then got various needles in packets. You can't have too many variants of needle, I have to say, because you don't know what you're going to sew. You don't know what you're going to be sewing. So I've got, these are shining. I've got quilting needles. I've got a set of betweens. I've got tapestry needles. I've got a pebble, John Jones pebble, which has got really large eyes. Can you see that? No. Here. There we go. If you can see, they've got really large eyes, those have. For thick wool, sewing up wool, that sort of thing. And I've got some milliners as well. And I use these in a variety of things, you know, if I'm doing a bit of quilting, just normal hand sewing, obviously tapestry for perlé threads and cottons and that sort of thing. I've already said I use those for wool. And the milliners, they've got a really tiny eye, but they're just a nice size to sew with. What you'll find is you'll use different needles and that sort of thing as you start sewing and that, and you'll find what sort of eye size you like, or what sort of size, whether it's a long, some people like long needles, some people like short needles. Okay, what else have I got in here? Oh, I've got lots of things. It's surprising actually how much this box actually holds. It surprises me every time I empty it out, to be honest, how much I've got in here. So I've got a set of different coloured chalks, and I've got a white chalk as well for marking out, and then I've got a variety of pens and pencils. I'm sorry about the rattling, they seem to be sort of tucked in with everything else. So I've got, and then I've got some chalk pencils, and I've got a heat transfer pencil, Aquatrick, which is a water erasable pen, a couple of quilter's pencils. I have not sure whether that's an air erasable one. I've got a retractable pencil and a pen. Okay, so a normal pencil and a normal pen. You never know when you need to write stuff down. I have, on the measuring tools, I have a tape measure, cow again. See, can you see the theme? Can you see the theme here? I really love cows. It's as simple as that. So whenever I can get a cow into anything, I always do. So normal tape measure. I then also have a seam guide, which is a Millward seam guide, and it's got, you know, 3 centimetre section, 1 centimetre, 2 centimetre, 4, 5, and it says for bottom seam, sides and shoulder seams, armholes and neckline. This is actually really useful, I have to say, for hemming and all of those sort of things. I also have, on the measuring front, now I don't know if you can see this because it's a clear plastic what would you call that? It's like a ruler, but it doesn't got any rulers on it, and it's actually what they call a quilter's seam guide. So it's actually the right width for all of your seams, particularly if you're doing patches and quilting and that sort of thing. And what you would do is you put it on your piece of paper, and then you get one, or the quilter's thing, and then you'd line it up with this side with the edge of your piece of fabric, and then you draw down there, and you know that that's your seam allowance. So it's already cut, because it's acrylic, it's already cut with a machine to be a quilter's quarter. So that's what that is. You can get them in long ones, you can get them in the short one, look, that is, and that is actually really useful. Other things I have in here, let's have a look. I have a point turner, so if I'm bagging out or I'm making corners, that sort of thing, so that's really good for that. I also have a clover finger presser. Now when you don't have an iron for when you're doing patchwork and quilting, this is really good, because you'll fold your seam over and then you just literally press it, and as it folds over, you can score your fabric. It's actually really good for paper as well. So those journalers out there and you want to be folding paper, this is actually really good for that as well. I like dual tools, I have to say, I really do. I have some snap fasteners. Never know when you need a snap fastener. I have 2 bulldog clips. Again, these are the things that have been in my sewing basket forever. One of those things that have got to go in, because you can clip pieces of paper together, fabric together, keep a pattern where it needs to be, display items if you anything like that. So those are always useful as well. What else do I have? Pack of the buttons. All sorts of different colours. You never know when you need a few buttons. I have a tin of these pins or buttons. Oh, pretty pins. I think I'll put that in there because I just like the colour of it, to be honest. And then I have a little sewing tin. And again, this has got all sorts of the small items. If you watch my other videos for my journaling, I have a tin like this for all the small stickers and things that they don't get lost at the bottom of my planner pouch. Well, this is the same thing. This is a little tin which holds all sorts of little things so they don't get lost in your tub. And it happens to me at least once a year where my box goes flying across the room, everything falls out. You don't want to be picking all these little things up. So I've got a pack of sewing machine needles, safety pins, thimble, wonder clips. Now, these are the same sort of thing as these, where you can hold fabric together instead of pins. So if you're using I don't know, oilcloth, or PVC or something like that, and you don't want to put holes in it, this is what you use. They use these on the sewing bee recently. And then I have a very large wool needle, and obviously a pencil sharpener, because I've got a lot of pencils here which probably would need sharpening at some point, and probably always when I haven't got a pencil sharpener with me. So the other thing I've got in here are a few more things. I have a couple of crochet hooks, because you never know when you're going to need a crochet hook, and they're both actually 3.5. So I don't know if that's consequential or what. Maybe that's just telling me something, maybe, don't know. Anyway, crochet hooks. I have a tiny crochet hook which is a 1mm, and I have a bodkin. So oh sorry, am I out of shot here? I do apologise. So crochet hooks, in case you didn't see it, and this is a bodkin. Where's my, oh, sorry for the rattling. Okay, so if you can see, you can't see, you see, has a very large hole in it, and it has a blunt end. So what with this is you put a piece of elastic through here. If you've been making face masks recently, you put your elastic through there and then you thread it through the channel that you made, and pull it through, and it's like a needle for elastic and things like that. And in fact, I'm going to put that into my tin now. And then I have threads. So black, white, cream I haven't got because I've obviously been using it, but I would always carry black, white and cream. Now the other thing that I haven't actually brought with me, but I do use, is I use a case full of machine bobbins, and they're normally the machine bobbins that don't fit in my machine, or the cheap ones you get from the, like the universal ones you get from the shops, of all sorts of different colours. And the reason is, I like to carry lots of different colours with me, but I don't want to take great big reels like this everywhere. So if you're going to craft club, or you're going, you know, decide to go to the local coffee shop and do some sewing, if you take just a box of machine bobbins with you, with all different colours, you will always have a colour which will go with whatever it is you're sewing. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that, having a bit of look of what I've got in my box. As you can see, there's an awful lot of stuff that goes into one little box. I wouldn't say I need this every single time I do a bit of sewing or mending or something, but I do know that if I'm rushing out the door to go to a craft club or a sewing session at my mum's or anything like that, if I pick this box up, I know that I will have everything that I need. Okay, so if you want to know any more, leave me a comment below. If you want to see more of these types of videos, again, let me know. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, please subscribe. I intend to do a lot more crafting videos as well as my journaling from now on. And I will see you next time, my craft orchard, where skills and ideas can grow. I'll see you soon. Bye.